Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 It's finished. After.
Any wishes for topics or texts to discuss? Anything to talk about, to hear about? Hmm?
Yeah, that's not correct. Mira.
Some-
Mira,
some-
no.
some problem.
Mira.
Chapter 10. Chapter 10, text number 8.
It goes on the black one.
Once more. Chapter
10, 8.
Okay, thank you.
Aham sarvasya prabhavo mata sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvita. Aham sarvasya prabhavo mata sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvita. Aham sarvasya prabhavo mata sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvita. Aham sarvasya prabhavo mata sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvita. Aham sarvasya prabhavo mata sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvita.
Aham sarvasya prabhu mata
Aham sarvasya prabhavo
mata sarva prachartate
mata sarvam pravartate
iti matva bhajanti mam
iti matva bhajante mam
buddha bhava samanvita.
buddha bhava samanvita.
Which number?
10:8.
Oh. No, I didn't. Aham sarvasya prabhavo
Aham sarvasya prabhavo
mata sarvam pravartate
mata sarvam pravartate
iti matva bhajanti mam
iti matva bhajante mam
buddha bhava samanvita.
buddha bhava samanvita. Aham I sarvasya of all prabhava the source of generation mata from me sarvam everything pravartate emanates iti thus matva knowing bhajante become devoted mam unto me buddha the learned bhava samanvita with great attention. Translation purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ki. I'm the source of all spiritual and material worlds. Everything emanates from me. The wise who perfectly know this engage in my devotional service and worship me with all their hearts. A learned scholar who has studied the Vedas perfectly and has information from authorities like Lord Chaitanya and who knows how to apply these teachings can understand that Krishna is the origin of everything in both the material and spiritual worlds. And because he knows this perfectly, he becomes firmly fixed in the devotional service of the Supreme Lord. He can never be deviated by any amount of nonsensical commentaries or by fools. All Vedic literatures agrees that Krishna is the source of Brahma, Shiva, and all other demigods. In the Atharva Veda, Gopal Tapani Upanishad 124, it is said, Yo Brahmanam Vidadati Purvam, Yo Vai Vedam Gapayati Sma Krishna. It was Krishna who in the beginning instructed Brahma in Vedic knowledge and who disseminated Vedic knowledge in the past. Then again, the Narayana Upanishad 1 says, Ata Purusho Abhay Narayano Kamayata Prajasi Yeti. Then the Supreme Personality Narayan desired to create living entities. The Upanishad continues, Narayanad Brahma Jayate Narayanad Prajapati Prajayate Narayanad Indro Jayate Narayanad Ashtau Vasavo Jayante Narayanad Ekadasha Duda Jayante Narayanad Dvadasha Dityaha. From Narayan, Brahma is born, and from Narayan, the patriarchs are also born. From Narayan, Indra is born. From Narayan, the 8 Vasas are born. From Narayan, the 11 Rudras are born. From Narayan, the 12 Adityas are born. This Narayan is an expansion of Krishna. It is said in the same Vedas, Brahmano Devaki Putra, the son of Devaki Krishna, is the Supreme Personality. Then it is said, Eko Vai Narayana, Asin na Brahma ne Shano Napo Nagni Somau Nemed Yav Apritivi Nakshatrani Nasuryaha. In the beginning of the creation, there was only the Supreme Personality Narayan. There was no Brahma, no Shiva, no water, no fire, no moon, no heaven and earth, no stars in the sky, no sun. In the Maha-Upanishad, it is also said that Lord Shiva was born from the forehead of the Supreme Lord. Thus, the Veda says that it is the Supreme Lord, the creator of Brahma and Shiva, who is to be worshipped. In the Moksha Dharma section of the Mahabharata, Krishna also says, Prajapatim charudam chavi, aham eva shijamevai, tau hi mam na vijanito, mama maya vimohitau. The patriarchs, Shiva and others, are created by me, though they do not know they are created by me, because they are deluded and by my illusory energy. In the Varaha Purana, it is also said, Narayana paro devas tasmad jatas chaturmukha tasmadudu bhava deva sacha sarva gyatam gata. Narayana is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and from him Brahma was born, from whom Shiva was born. Lord Krishna is the source of all generations, and he is called the most efficient cause of everything. He says, because everything is born of me, I am the original source of all. Everything is under me. No one is above me. There is no supreme controller other than Krishna. One who understands Krishna in such a way, from a bona fide spiritual master, with reference from Vedic literature, engages all his energy in Krishna consciousness and becomes a truly learned man. In comparison to him, all others who do not know Krishna properly are but fools. Only a fool would consider Krishna to be an ordinary man. A Krishna-conscious person should not be bewildered by fools. He should avoid all unauthorized commentaries and interpretations on Bhagavad Gita and proceed in Krishna consciousness with determination and firmness. Om Magyana Timirandasya Jnandana Salakaya Chakshur Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Svayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Svapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Parakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagjatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvetam Savadutam Parichana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagama Lalita Shri Vishakanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namushtute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vansha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhe Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Aham savasya prabhavo mata savam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvitaha. I am the source of all spiritual and material worlds. Everything emanates from me. The wise who perfectly know this engage in my devotional service and worship me with all their hearts. Jai. So this part of Bhagavad Gita, in its 10th chapter, is 4 verses starting from text 8 on to verse 11. They are what I call the seed verses of the Bhagavad Gita. So all the essence of Bhagavad Gita are encapsulated in these 4 verses. So if you know these 4 verses, you can flesh out the whole Bhagavad Gita, and in fact the whole Vedic literature, just from these 4 verses, starting with Aham Savasya Prabhavo. This is because the conclusion of all the Vedic scriptures is that Krishna is the Supreme Person, that we're all his eternal servants, and therefore we should surrender unto him. And when he's saying, I'm the source of all spiritual material worlds, it means that I, the person, Bhagavan, who is full in 6 opulences, he's not saying that it is the impersonal, for example, that is the source of all. He's saying, I am, Aham Savasya Prabhavo. So scholars and sages, they spend lifetimes, many lifetimes, many years, to understand that actually it is Krishna who is the Supreme. Vasudeva Savamiti Samahatma Sudurlabha. And it's very, very rare that someone actually comes to understand that this is so. So many sages, scholars, they believe for a while that maybe Indra is the Supreme, that maybe it is Surya who is the Supreme, that maybe it's Ganesh who is the Supreme, maybe it's Shiva. And gradually they understand there is always someone above when you come to Krishna. So many people, they are worshippers of Lord Shiva, but Lord Shiva is again worshipper of Krishna. So Shiva, he always has the lotus feet of the Lord in his heart. He's always meditating in trance on Lord Krishna. Lord Shiva, he is the foremost Vaishnava. He's the highest devotee, or the best devotee of Lord Krishna. So many people, they worship him because he's very great. He's indeed very great. And because he takes those who are most fallen and accepts them as his followers, so that they can in future lives come to understand that Krishna is the Supreme. So if we study these 4 verses, we can actually understand what all the Vedas are about. So the Vedas, they're a vast literature, vast library of literature. A lot of the Vedas are dedicated to what is called Karma Kanda, and also Jnana Kanda. Karma Kanda means to engage ourselves in, or to learn the study of fruitive activities or piety that can help us to elevate ourselves to the heavenly planets. So the Vedas is divided in this way, in, say, for example, learning how to act piously so that we can attain heavenly destinations in our future lives. They cater to those who are very much in ignorance of the supremacy of Krishna. And this is so because it's better to have people engage in pious activities than to act immorally, like we do very much in present day society, where, for example, slaughterhouses are operated around the clock, 7 days a week, for example. So, in the Vedic literature, you may have injunctions for slaughtering animals at a certain times and offer them to Goddess Durga. But this is not the ultimate aim of the Vedas, to give these instructions for helping us lead pious lives. They're meant for regulating the lives of those who are in the mode of ignorance, so that they can come up of this very, very dark hole and come up to the platform of goodness. Also for those who are very, very passionate, they are meant to elevate those. For example, there's Jnana Kanda of trying to help us understand that God is beyond the material nature. That God has this all-pervasive feature, like the Brahman. So the majority of the Vedic literature is dedicated to these topics of Karma Kanda and Jnana Kanda. But the essence is found in the part discussing the supremacy of Lord Krishna. But if, as I alluded to, if these parts of the Vedas weren't there, then it would be very difficult to come to the understanding that Krishna is supreme, because we're all so much in ignorance. So they're meant to elevate us to the point that we can actually accept Krishna as supreme, which can take very, very, very long. But eventually, if we follow this path, we will come to this realization. But that's not to say that we can just take to any one path and we will end up in the same in the desired place, which there are those who argue. No, we should when we are instructing, given good instruction, we shouldn't reject those instructions because we have heard from some that we can just worship some demigods and we end up in the right location. Because the demigods, as Krishna says, they're also parts and parcels of him. So they emanate from him. So they cannot they cannot claim their independence just like Krishna can. So therefore, if we worship the demigods, then Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita is we can attain them. Yanti deva vrata devan, pitin yanti prite vrataha, bhutani yanti bhujaya, yanti madhya jinopimam. That whatever we worship the demigods, the forefathers and ghosts and spirits, we attain those. But if we worship Krishna, then we attain him. And because all these demigods, forefathers, ghost spirits, they emanate from Krishna, then it means that they're dependent on Krishna. They're not free from his ruling. So they cannot, or whatever they grant us because it has been sanctioned by Krishna. So therefore, they cannot give us what we really want. They cannot give us the love of God, because they're not free themselves. So how can they give freedom to us? So in other words, they cannot give us immortality, because they don't have this the key to immortality themselves necessarily, which is pure love of God. So only God himself, Krishna, can give us what we really want. He can give us eternal love of him as a person. So we can study the Vedas or engage in piety or perform mystic yoga, but at the end of the day, they can only take us to the point to realize that God is a person. But if we want to understand in Krishna, if we want to understand God, then we have to engage in devotional service with all our senses. And how do we engage in devotional service? It starts by hearing, by chanting and remembering. Smaranam kirtanam Vishnu smaranam. To lend one's ears to the topics discussing Krishna and glorifying his activities, name and form, etc. To chanting these glories, or to sing, which in today's age to chant Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And in this way we can remember him. And when we can remember him, we can learn to always chant and always listen. So the more we remember him, the more we want to always chant. The most important part is to listen and to chant. Most important part is to actually to chant. But if we cannot listen properly, then it's very difficult to get the point. Maybe more on that later. For now, the important point is that Krishna is the source of all spiritual and material worlds. Everything emanates from him. It's not just the spirit, all matter. Like you can say that Brahma is the creator of this world, but Krishna is again the creator of Brahma. So who has actually created the world? Brahma, you can say is the architect or is the secondary creator, but behind him, Narayan, who is again a plenary expansion of Krishna, is the original creator of the world, because he breathes life. And by his will, the world comes into existence, and he enters into the universe, lays down in the bottom of the universe in the cosmos ocean, and from him a lotus stem grows, on which Brahma is born. So Brahma is it Aja is called because he's born without a mother. The Lord, he is not dependent on senses like we are, so he can give birth by his will. He doesn't need Lakshmi to engage in sexual intercourse to create life. He can bring to life beings such as Brahma or anything. He can do anything just by his will. So this is because he is the supreme. We cannot do this. We talked about this last week of how Krishna, he takes the Bhoga offering just by looking at it. Similarly, he gives birth just by his mind, or his will rather, because all his senses, they're not different from the other senses. But anywho, everything springs out of Krishna, and then everything is maintained by him in the form of Vishnu, Kshirodakshaya Vishnu. So Brahma and Shiva, they're the other guna avatars. There are 3 guna avatars. There's Vishnu, there is Brahma, there is Shiva. Shiva is appointed the director or chief of the mode of ignorance or tamagun. Brahma is the guna avatar for mode of passion or rajagun, and Vishnu is the guna avatar for mode of goodness. So Shiva, he annihilates, or you can say put it on the other way around. Brahma, he never mind. Brahma, he creates, and Vishnu, he maintains. So the creation means that you have to. Brahma, he has to interact with the material energy, and Shiva also, because he's the chief of mode of ignorance. Therefore, he associates with ghastly beings and so on and so forth. So, and Durga is the personification, or his wife is the personification of material energy. So he's very intimately related with the material energy. But Vishnu, he is just maintaining the whole world. This means he's basically free from its influences, because he has nothing to do with it. So in this way, the Lord, he is controlling everything without actually being involved. He has delegated everything to other directors or deputy directors who takes care of everything. So Vishnu is also again a plenary expansion of the Supreme Lord. Now, what was I going to? Where was I going with this? Yes, and when the world is annihilated, then everything again enters into the body of Mahavishnu, where it is then rests until there is another creation. So everything exists in Krishna, and Krishna exists in everything. Yet he is outside of everything. He is aloof. So before creation, there was Krishna, there was the Lord, and after creation, and there will also just be Krishna. See, aham eva samevagre nanyad yatsat asat param pashad aham yadechasha yuvashishidashasimi. So these are the seed verse, one of the seed verses in Srimad Bhagavatam, which is basically the same, saying that before creation there was nothing but myself. Everything you see is an emanation from me, and after the annihilation, what remains will be I, nothing else. So it means everything comes from him. Nothing is equal to Krishna, and nothing is above. And everything depends on him. It's like a baby depends on its mother, always crying out for its mother. Similarly, we should think of our relationship with Krishna like this. And this is the beauty of Krishna consciousness. When we come to this movement, when we come to Krishna consciousness, when we don't know anything, we have this idea of God, and God is the supreme. He is our his inconceivable personality. We may have understood that Krishna is a person, and we think he's like this unreachable personality. But when we come to learn about Krishna, we actually learn that he has very, very intimate relationships with his devotees. So, there are 5 ways in which we can relate. 5 major ways in which we can relate to him. The first is in neutrality. It's called Shantaras. Then we can just accept that Krishna is the supreme, but we don't have any bhav, we don't have any just real emotion in direction toward him. So this is the stage of neutrality. We understand that Krishna is God, and we're all his parts and parcels, but that real aspect of devotion is lacking. So it means that the second is that of servitorship. In the Vaikuntha planets, where everyone is engaged in their love of God, directed towards Narayan, everyone there is in the mellow of servitorship or dasyaras. So above this, there is fraternity, where you can be. Krishna has his boyfriends. Like there's all these friends he's running around with, tending cows. These you find only with Krishna. You find servitorship, neutrality in Vaikuntha. But our Krishna conscious movement is here to give like this highest form of relating to Krishna, which is you have these rasas you only have in Golok Vrindavan, the highest planet of where Krishna resides alone. The Sakyaras, Vatsalaras, like Mother Yashoda and Nanda, they're relating to Krishna as their parents. So whereas we, when we're in the material world, should cry out for Krishna as our father. And Krishna, again, when one becomes a very, very advanced devotee, he's crying out for his own parents, because he wants to have these relations with his devotees. So this is the beauty of the nature of God. He's not just some unreachable person in the sky who we bow down to and worship. Of course, we do that also, because this is a way of purifying ourselves from all this dirt that's been accumulating for so many lives. This is why when we worship the deity in the temple, we worship him with great pomp, because we want to learn how to become servants. So this is the regulated platform. But when we attain love of God, we come to a spontaneous platform. But this is not so important anymore, because we automatically we engage in this devotional service. And you see, the most advanced devotees are those who are engaged as lovers of Krishna. The gopis are his girlfriends. They're the most advanced devotees. So Lord Chaitanya, he descended to give this knowledge, give this great science of how to engage in devotional service and how to attain love of God, and by showing by example and this true love that Krishna has with his gopis. So this is the highest realization of God, of who He actually is, and it is from Him that everything emanates. From Him, Narayan, who is the supreme in Vaikuntha, he emanates. Or from Narayan, there is Vishnu who comes, and it's Vishnu who creates this world and maintains it. And by His will, it is annihilated. So when we engage in this Harinam Sankirtan, Yagya and chanting Hare Krishna, we should think of Krishna as his highest form in Vrindavan, where he's playing on his flute, tending his cows, playing with his girlfriends, because this is readily available in this day and age. In previous ages, to even discuss these pastimes was very just impossible, because no one had this realization of Krishna as the lover of the gopis and the master of Vrindavan, the son of Nanda. But because this age is very fallen, the mercy that we can attain is also so much greater in proportion. And so if we come together and praise the Lord, then we can receive and take unlimited amount of mercy to help us purify ourselves and lift us out of our ignorance of things that maybe the world has come to be by chance, or that it's all there to satisfy our lust. To understanding that no, there's a great system behind everything. There's a reason why the sun rises at the exact moment every day, why everything is moving, like the seasons are changing exactly the same way year after year. It is because it was set in motion by the Supreme Lord. It is not a chance. So we need to understand this, that everything emanates from God. That is not by chance. So if you are making a pot, the reason why the pot is being made is not because of the clay, it's because of the potter. The potter sets this all into action. That is the real reason. Anything else is actually very crazy to suggest. It's all created by Krishna, and in order to understand this, we have to surrender. We have to accept. If we are fighting against this truth, then we will never attain success. But if we very simply, if we surrender and accept that Krishna is the supreme, that we're all His eternal subservients, and that our relationship, our natural position is to serve Krishna in one of these 5 different, or actually 4 different rasas, because there's no real servitorship in neutrality, then we can very quickly we can uncover the very essence of who we are, our souls, and we can attain our constitution position of eternal servitorship unto Krishna. So we can ask, now, are we losing our personality then? No, we're actually gaining the part of us which is inactive, which is not doing anything when we are in the material conception. So we aren't losing anything, we're only gaining something. Or not just something, we're gaining everything. So if we are wise, we surrender to Krishna, we engage in devotional service, and we worship Him with all our hearts. So to sum up the discussion, or the little lecture, that there are all these different parts of the Vedas, this vast, huge literature, but the essence of Vedas is found in Bhagavad Gita, and the very essence is found in these verses, starting with Aham Sarvasya Prabhavo, and continuing with Machita Madhgata Prana. The thoughts of my pure devotees dwell in me. Their lives are fully devoted to my service, and they derive great satisfaction and bliss from always enlightening one another and conversing about me. Tesham Chatadayuktanam. To those who are constantly devoted to serving me with love, I give the understanding by which they can come to me. And Tesham Evanukam Bhartam. And to show them special mercy, I, dwelling in their hearts, destroy with the shining lamp of knowledge the darkness born from ignorance. So these are just showing how we can attain the ultimate goal of all Vedic literature, and this is also actually exemplified by the personification of the Vedic scriptures, who in the previous lives they were worshipping Lord Ram. And they wanted to attain this perfection. They wanted to have Krishna, or to have the Lord as their husband. And because of their devotion, they were promoted to be gopis in Krishna's lila. So this is possible by serious devotional service, and one can attain this very, very highest, most esoteric types of relations with Krishna. So this should inspire us, hopefully, to take devotional service, because we have this, or seriously, because we have this golden opportunity to actually realize our eternal relationship with Krishna in today's age. This mercy is not available in any other age, so therefore we should take it most seriously and chant 16 rounds of Hare Krishna every day, and to always think about Krishna, because then we don't have to worry about what we're going to do in our next lives, because then we will go back to Krishna. We will live there eternally with all our friends, with all our family. We will be ecstatic in love of God, instead of continuing this material existence. So we should always worship Krishna with all our hearts, because this is what our eternal nature is anyway. So if we want to be successful, we should always chant Hare Krishna, and we should then not forget about our duties, but to Krishnaize our duties, so that we direct our love towards Him, rather than directing our love towards things which will be gone tomorrow. So if you want to be successful, then we have to understand that Krishna is God, that we're His servants, and engage ourselves in devotional service by listening, chanting, and remembering, and also engaging in the other processes, such as serving His lotus feet and praying to Him, etc. And then we can, at the end of our lives, remember Krishna, and we can go back to His abode and live there eternally, free from misery, and live there in full happiness. So thank you for listening. I wasn't so prepared this time, but hopefully there was some interesting points. Are there any reflections, any comments, any questions, corrections? Yes, Prabhu?
It is very interesting that we can use every energy of the Lord in our work, in our talent. We can use everything in order to glorify the Lord. And our job, our tendence is can be used worship of the Lord. And what is interesting that also the guna, and also the most heavy of guna, tamas guna, can be used for worship the Lord. Everything is meant to worship the Lord. I'm an architect, so I know that the weight of a brick, of stones, very heavy. So tamas can be used in worshiping the Lord, to build a temple, for example, or an altar, or something, or a sculpture of the shape of the Lord. So everything can be used, and all emanates from the Lord. Is perfect for us. Yeah, I just want to say that ask about the tamas guna, the most heavy energy of the Lord. Because really we live in this world, and we have to work with every kind of energy. When we cook, we use fruit of the land. It's very interesting, this. We can transform every energy of the Lord in order to worship Him. It's my reflection.
Yeah, of course. Everything when it's applied in Christian service is Krishna, so it's spiritual energy then. But Krishna is situated in every atom. So actually there's no material energy, it's all spiritual energy. That being said though, he doesn't accept, for example, we cannot offer him onion, garlic, meat, etc., even though that's also his energy, because he doesn't accept this, he doesn't eat it himself. But if you engage, you should engage everything such as your computers, there's phones, etc. There's everything for his service. So things that we generally use for our sense enjoyment, we can use it instead for serving Krishna. So we have, just a crude example. There's all this entertainment industry, making movies, making music, etc. So instead of making movies and music for sense enjoyment, we should make it for worshiping Krishna. Yeah, that's the point. So everything we do, we should dedicate to Krishna. It's not like we are doing anything wrong. Like it's all these things that are created by in our demonic society. They have made it. Prabhupada said, "We have made it, and we take it, and we use it for Krishna." There's nothing wrong with it because it's available to use, and it all belongs to Krishna anyway. So use everything, and then Krishna becomes very, very satisfied. Yeah. Anything else? Okay. Then I thank you very much for your kind attention. We should move on to the next part of our program. Arti. Srimad Bhagavad Gita Siddhis Ki, Srila Prabhupada Ki, Jai.
Ukrainians?
And your friend Rush. Because father is speaking. English.
Jaya Nitai Gora Chanda 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 Jaya Nitai Gora Hare 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 Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parijat Ki Charya Sutana Satarshi Samadhi Divine Grace. A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. Jai Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parijat Ki Charya Sutana Satarshi Samadhi Divine Grace. Srila Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Ki. Ananda Koti Vaishnavi Ki. Ki Samtabhacharya Srila Prabhupada Ki. Namacharya Srila Harira Thakur Ki. Ho Shri Krishna Shiva Prabhu Namaskar Vedagara Shiva Sri Shri Radha Krishna Bhoga Gopinath Chamakuna Radha Kuna Kiri Gopalam Ki. Vrindavan Namaki. Mathura Namaki. Namadev Tamaki. Jagannathpuri Namaki. Ramnamaki. Yamuna Maki. Pechidari Ki. Bhakti Namaki. Hare Nam Sankirtan Namaki. Jani Namaki. Samaveta Bhakti Namaki. Gora Premanandi. All glories to these devotees. All glories to these devotees. All glories to these devotees. All glories to Shri Shri Guru Nanda, and all glories to Shri Prabhupada.
Namaste Narasimhaya.
Namaste Narasimhaya.
Okay, switch the phone. Yes, right, thank you so much for coming.